You're scrolling through your phone at 2 a.m., staring at their name in your contacts. Your finger hovers over the call button. You know you shouldn't. You know this person has hurt you countless times. Yet here you are again, fighting the urge to reach out. Sound familiar? Here's what nobody tells you about toxic relationships. You're not weak for staying. You're not stupid. You're not lacking willpower. You're trapped by something far more powerful than love. You're trapped by your own brain's wiring. If you've ever wondered why you keep going back to someone who hurts you, stick around. Because what I'm about to reveal will change everything you thought you knew about love, attachment, and why some people become human magnets for toxic relationships. But first, smash that subscribe button. Trust me, you'll want to. Let's start with a hard truth. That person who keeps hurting you, they're not special. They don't have some magical hold over you. What they've done is accidentally triggered something that was already broken inside you. Something that started way before you ever met them. Think about this. Two people can date the same toxic person. One walks away after the first red flag. The other stays for years, making excuses, hoping things will change. What's the difference? It's not intelligence. It's not strength. It's how they learn to love. From the moment you're born, your brain is like a sponge, soaking up patterns about relationships. If you grew up in a home where love was consistent, where you felt safe and valued, your brain learned that healthy relationships are normal. But if love came with conditions, if affection was mixed with rejection, if you had to earn basic care, your brain learned something else entirely. Your brain learned that love is supposed to hurt. That uncertainty equals passion, that you have to fight for affection. And here's the kicker, when someone treats you well consistently, it feels boring. When someone gives you that familiar cocktail of hot and cold, your brain lights up and screams, "This is it. This is love." But it's not love, it's recognition. Your wounded inner child recognizing the dysfunction it grew up with. Now here's where it gets really twisted. That toxic person isn't just hurting you randomly. They're using a psychological weapon so powerful that casinos use it to keep people gambling their life savings away. It's called intermittent reinforcement, and it's basically emotional crack cocaine. Here's how it works. Imagine if every time you pressed a button, you got $1. Pretty soon, you get bored and stop pressing. But what if the button gave you money randomly? Sometimes nothing, sometimes $10, sometimes $100. You'd become obsessed. You'd press that button until your fingers bled. That's exactly what toxic relationships do to your brain. If they were awful all the time, you'd leave immediately. But they give you random doses of affection. A sweet text after days of silence. Amazing sex after a huge fight. A romantic gesture right when you're about to walk away. Your brain becomes addicted to those unpredictable rewards. You start accepting less and less, just hoping for the next hit of validation. You convince yourself that if you just try harder, be more patient, change something about yourself, you'll unlock that consistent love you're craving. But here's what you need to understand. This isn't a game you can win. The house always wins. And in this casino, you're gambling with your sanity. Comment below if you've ever felt this addiction. Because recognizing it is the first step to breaking free. Now, while you're trapped in this cycle, something even more sinister happens. They start messing with your perception of reality itself. It's called gaslighting, and it's psychological warfare designed to make you doubt your own mind. You notice something's wrong. Maybe they're acting strange, maybe you caught them in a lie. You bring it up, and suddenly you're the crazy one. You're being paranoid. That never happened. You're too sensitive. You always misunderstand everything. Slowly, your confidence in your own judgment crumbles. You start questioning everything. Did that conversation really happen the way you? This is deliberate. When you can't trust your own perception, you become completely dependent on them to tell you what's real. It's the ultimate control mechanism. And the worst part, You become so grateful for any crumb of kindness that you'll accept behavior you once swore you'd never tolerate. Your standards don't just lower, they disappear entirely. But why? Why do you accept this treatment when deep down you know you deserve better? Because leaving feels like death. Not metaphorically. Your brain literally interprets abandonment as a threat to your survival. If you learned early that love is scarce, that you're not inherently worthy of it, then losing this relationship feels like losing your only chance at being loved. You'd rather suffer with someone than be alone with yourself. Because being alone means facing the silence where all your fears live. The fear that maybe you're unlovable. Maybe this is the best you can do. Maybe no one else will ever want you. So you stay. You make excuses. You hold on to hope like it's a life raft in a hurricane. They're going through a rough patch. They had a difficult childhood. Deep down, they're a good person. But here's the brutal truth. Hoping someone will change is like hoping gravity will stop working. People only change when they want to change, not because you love them enough or sacrifice enough of yourself. You cannot love someone into being healthy. You cannot fix them with your devotion. And the longer you try, the more of yourself you lose in the process. So what do? How do you break free from this psychological prison? First, you have to get clean. Complete no contact. And I mean complete. No, let's be friends. No checking their social media. No responding to their inevitable attempts to hoover you back in. Every contact resets your healing process back to zero. This will feel like withdrawal because that's exactly what it is. Your brain will scream for its fix. You'll. That voice isn't you. That's your addiction talking. Write down every cruel thing they did. Read it whenever you feel weak. Because you will feel weak. Next, you have to rebuild your identity. Toxic relationships are like emotional black holes. They suck in everything that makes you unique until you can't. What did you love before you met them? What dreams did you abandon? What parts of yourself did you hide to keep the peace? It's time to reclaim all of it. And finally, you need to learn the most important lesson of all. You don't need another person to complete you. That empty feeling inside, it's not because you're missing your other half. It's because you abandoned yourself. The love you're desperately seeking from them, you have to give it to yourself first. Not because you're selfish, but because you can't give what you don't have. And you can't recognize healthy love if you don't know what it feels like to love yourself. This isn't just about leaving one toxic relationship. This is about breaking the pattern that will otherwise repeat itself for the rest of your life. Because if you don't heal the wound that made you vulnerable to this person, you'll just find another version of them. The truth is, leaving is the easy part. Staying gone is where the real work begins. But on the other side of that pain is freedom. Real freedom. The kind where you never again have to beg someone to treat you with basic human decency. You deserve love that doesn't hurt. Love that doesn't require you to shrink yourself. Love that shows up consistently, not just when it's convenient, but it starts with you choosing yourself. Finally, completely, unapologetically choosing yourself. Drop a heart in the comments if you're ready to make that choice. And if this video opened your eyes, share it with someone who needs to hear this message. You might just save their life. The next video in this series will show you exactly how to rebuild your self-worth after narcissistic abuse. Don't miss it. Your future self is counting on you.